Yeah, now you're a big girl.
Yeah, I'm a big girl.
Yeah, mashallah, mashallah. Ni mol ko Lady Lina, jamalon Lady Lina di?
First of all, Lady Lina is just a simple girl, you know, a hardworking, outgoing, and first of all, the only girl of her mom, you know, that trying to make a difference in her life and for her family and for the community at large and for Gambia. Yeah, Lady Lina is just a girl that loves doing what she loves doing and love people that love her the same way, like controversial stuff. Sometimes things are hard on Lady Lina sometimes, but she still maintain her image.
Yeah, Lady Lina, we are going to talk a lot about you.
Right.
Personally, career-wise, you know, mindset-wise, mentality, spirituality.
Yeah.
You understand? We are going to talk a lot. First of all, you know, the culture on the podcast is like, we have to start from your beginnings, which is very important for you and for your fans. You know, Lady Lina wuluta muntale.
Lady Lina was born in Brikama, wuluta Brikama, you know, born and brought up in Brikama, Gida. Yeah, and then I just come around this end, that Burfoot Heights, you know, a few years ago. A couple of years ago.
Yeah, how is your educational background?
Yeah, Lady Lina is a well-educated person, I say to myself, because I have graduated, and then from graduation I have studied office package to diploma level, then I did networking, and then I did the course of German, which I am doing now. Yeah.
Mashallah. Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, let's talk about your girl time, your gully time, gully time,
yeah.
Young age time. You know, how was your life in Brikama, like growing up in Brikama as a young girl, you know? Yeah,
it's really tough because, you know, for me, that's why most of the time, you know, before I used to dress like a guy and stuff like that, because I am more of surrounded by people that are just like Brikama is let's say it's a small Jamaica.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And growing up as a woman, it's hard, most especially doing the music. It's like people always see the negative side of you, and then they will never see you for who you are as your talent, but they will always try to comment some bad comments and stuff. So, which for me, I dress like a guy at first because for my image, I see it as covering my body more. You get it? Because when you are wearing guys' clothes, it's more of like comfortable and it's more of like protecting your body. And then for the society, always judging and misleading people that are showcasing their talent, most especially female, because there's less opportunities for us. It was very challenging for me because like I was scared.
You are scared in a sense?
I was definitely scared because, scared of being out there, scared of putting my music out there, because most of the people that are surrounding you when it comes to this music thing will always want to take advantage of you. And man, let me just say, yala mama arf, because I always tell people that, you know, I feel like man yala mama yar. You know what I'm saying? Because since I started music, I was very young. I could have been exploited. I could have been, you know, into negative stuff, and then because people still say I am into drugs and stuff like that, which is not me. You know what I'm saying? If you know me, you will know that I'm a person that I don't even like people smoking next to me. You get me? But I had all kind of negativity. I had that even people saying I'm a lesbian and stuff. Some saying that, oh, Lina have baptized to Christianity and stuff. Anybody close to me, hamna ne man, I don't play with my Julie, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like I don't owe people that. I don't owe people an explanation or anything that has to do with my personal life, because no one wanted def manakialala. You know what I'm saying? So when I was young, trying to do music, whatever I think about, I make sure I think about God. Not even my parents, not even my family, but God. I'll be like, God is watching me. If I have to do this, God is watching me. So I'm more scared of the consequences from God's side than
the people, the humans in themselves.
Lady
Lina, we're gonna revise a little back. Yeah, we are gonna come on forward to that conversation.
Right.
I'm not gonna cut off that, but then, you know, me personally, I really want to learn about your childhood, like from your 8 age to 15 years, because of most of this inspiration, most of this talent and skill, it's groomed within those ages of your life.
Right.
I don't know whether you understand. Now, within those ages, how were you living with your parents then, you know, in Brikama? Let's talk about that nature of that living those days,
Yeah, for me, my childhood time, sometimes I feel like I don't want to talk about it because of what I've been through, at a young age. And then my parents, how music came to me is what I'm trying to explain to you. It was more of a living in a violence house. You know what I'm saying? Parents fighting every day. You as a young child, you're watching that. Neighbors coming through. If people are quarreling in a house, before, even now, you see everyone coming to the house to watch, to listen. So being in that environment while my parents were always into argument, into fights, and to be honest, this is something that traumatized me, and then a lot of people don't know about it, and this is my first time being open up about it because I feel like at some point one need to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I am still not even thinking about anything that has to do with marriage is because of what I've been through when I was young. I'm scared of my kids going through that.
I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying? Seeing your parents fighting each and every time, every now and then, it's horrible. And all the neighbors,
how
all
old
the neighbors.
were you by then?
I could say
was it that?
The age that I remember, I could say is around 10 to 11. Do you understand? So at the age of 12 was when my parents, divorced.
At that early age, you could remember right now. You could remember everything.
I could remember everything because I am my mom's first child and I have two little siblings. So, like I said, this is my first time opening up about it because, it's something that I went through alone. I know everyone have a story, but this is something that I dealt with mentally every time, even though my parents never knew about it. And then when my parents divorced in the age of 12, and then I was going to school, that was around my grade 3, and then that was when I started doing music. And I don't know how the music came about, but I know I love listening to music. I love miming music. And whenever I'm in class during break time, those that are my schoolmates during that time could detect to that, During break time, I was standing in front of the class, singing and stuff. So it's like more of a motivation because when my parents divorced, I was living with my mom, So before my mom came to get me, she left me at my father's house, So I was maltreated by my stepmom. Everyone, it's not hard, it's not that easy to live with a stepmom sometimes.
Yeah,
not all
crazy.
Stepmoms.
So the only peace you have is when you have your
when I go to school
and have headphones on your ears listening to music.
When I go to school, we play music during break time and then we do miming and stuff, That's the only time I feel free. Then when I'm coming home, it's always my heart beating fast. What am I meeting home today? Because let's talk about my stepmom using violence words on me, calling me all kind of names, making sure that I do all the house chores, which I don't have a problem with before I go to school. So I will be late before I get to school. And when I get to school as a counselor, because I was a very smart kid at school, so I was always a prefect or something. So whenever I get to the gate, I will have the biggest punishment because guess what? As a prefect, you lead by example, right? You're not supposed to come too late. So you're not supposed to come late to school, and then being late at school every time, I always have my punishment. I will be beaten severely before I get to the school. And I think it was just one night when my mom came to get me because the neighbors were talking about how my stepmom was, and because I have to do, when I come from school too, I have to do all the house chores before I bath my little brothers. It's already late, so they had to talk to my mom. My mom had to come get us, and when my mom get us, I thought things would be better. I thought life was gonna be better because I'm living with mom. But, I think my mom also went through some things which I don't know about. And then, sometimes she will look at us, and mostly me as the elderly child, she will look at me, and every little thing for my little brothers that whenever they make mistakes, wrongs, the pain is going to come to me. I will face the punishment, which I see as a normal thing. But then sometimes it's too much that it will make me think about what do I do? How do I get here? Where have I
this punishment?
Where have I gone wrong? I think I almost drank poison one time. My mom didn't know about it. I was, when you were young, they're like, oh, when you drink Odozoel, it kills and stuff like that. I drank Odozoel. It do nothing to me. But I think I was just sick for some days, but I feel better. Yeah, I did. I tried to take my own life at some point because of how things were going.
Oh, I'm sorry, my sister.
It's all right. I think God was telling me it's not yet your
So
time.
did you ever talk to your mom about that? Or did she knew about the other several you drank?
She never did.
She never knew about the other several you drank?
So let's say more of our mothers never pay attention to their kids, what they are going through. They never ask you what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's the society that most of us are born in. Our parents don't talk to their kids to know what's really going on with them, So I think I was sent out of the house over 2-3 times. Mota mandamade wana na yala. Moma ya. Mota, I always said, come, alalenta kulu, God made me this way because the time I was on the street, I was very young, you know what I'm saying? I was exposed to the street at a very young age. You know what I'm saying? So I could have been explored, but, you
managed to get over everything that comes to you.
Yeah, sometimes, when I will be scared to get home because I'm scared that there is a punishment for me at home, you know what I'm saying? More especially when I go for a show that I know, if I get home, I'll get some beatings. I'll be like, no, I have to go and sleep at one of my friends because...
Yeah, that was the early age of your career.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about you coming into music, did you start it?
So it was more of me, at the primary school, I said it was more of me miming and writing poems.
What were the songs you normally listen to then,
Oh, those Nigerian actor, what's the name again? Okwa,
yeah.
Yeah. Where he said, know me when I'm poor, not to when I'm rich. We claim the relationship. Yeah, those songs and Oh Susanna. You don't love me again. Yeah, those songs were the songs that inspire me into music and coming to this guy's song again. What's the name again? Oh, I forgot his name. Fatina to the but the woman of my war.
Mighty Joe. Mighty Joe.
Yeah, I used to love those songs a lot, But Mighty Joe, I think his song was not one of my inspiration, but it was one of my favorite songs. But then it was not the exact time when I started music. The time I started music was one of those Susanna songs and stuff like that inspired me to do more of writings and, writing how I felt. I couldn't remember the first songs I wrote anyways because, my first time being on stage was just like, artists visited my father's village and I was there.
Okay.
Gochol, Akiponcho, and then you have Almaska, and then you have, I think, Benjamin too, So Gochol was the one that said, oh, we need one person from the village to come and sing. So I went for a weekend at my father's village, Then it was Tobeski, I think. So Ganyo Pusmo. Man maneka the